Hello every human! In this video, I will be discussing something completely out of the blue and very unnecessary, but I am going to be talking about how much I hate the medication risperidone. I hate risperdal. Honestly, this is probably a really funny video idea for someone to listen to me rant about a medication, so I may as well go with it. Now, my first experience with risperidone comes from when I was hospitalized by force. When I was 18 years old, I was Baker acted, and in Florida that means you are put into a mental institution or a center because you are a danger to either yourself or to someone else. But if there is any injury in the situation, you'll probably be Baker acted in Florida. In my case, I was in a very bad emotional state and I was feeling suicidal. And I made that clear, although I did not have any plans to act on it. That was clear as well, but because I had engaged in self-harm at the time, I was put into the hospital. And in the hospital, they initially treated me with risperdal, which is risperidone, as well as I think Paxil, and the risperdal that I was put on was far too high a dose for me, at least. I remember distinctly that my psychiatrist put me on 4 milligrams of risperidone, and he was not very good with his treatment of me, so that included the medication part of it. He gave me far too high a dose, and it ended up with me exhibiting behaviors similar or comparable to that of a seizure, a grand mal seizure, that is. This means that I was shaking a lot, and I was not in control of my body at this time. If not shaking, then I was most likely almost entirely unresponsive and just about catatonic. As in, I could not move, I had no will to move, I had no ability to move, I was simply unresponsive in every sense. I would not really talk to people. These were the initial effects of a high dosage. After I left the hospital, I mentioned these symptoms to the new psychiatrist I was seeing, and he lowered the dose. And the lower dose simply did not do anything for me. It was the more appropriate dose for me, but it was not a medication that was compatible with me. I was still having the same emotional instability I had before taking the risperdal, and along with that, I was still exhibiting severe psychotic symptoms, such as the hallucinations and especially the delusions. The delusions came hand in hand with the emotional instability. And since I didn't specify earlier on in this video, if you are not aware, risperdal is an antipsychotic, so it is meant to treat disorders that are typically associated with psychotic symptoms, such as schizophrenia, bipolar 1, I know, probably bipolar 2. But in my case, the risperdal was being used to treat my schizophrenic symptoms. And it simply did not do that. It did not do anything for my symptoms. They persisted, and they persisted quite badly. I was in a horrible state. Along with that, one of the things contributing to my state was my body dysmorphia. A lot of it has to do with my weight. Ever since I lost weight, I have kept such a close eye on it that it made me feel awful pretty much every day. So I gained maybe 20 pounds on risperdal, and it led to more horrible feelings. That's actually the reason I stopped taking risperdal, was because of the weight gain, and also because of the funniest symptom, which was about, I think, 2 entire years of lactation. So I experienced milk coming out of my nipples for a solid 2 years, and it was horrible. It felt painful, and it leaked a lot. I had to wear pads under my shirts. The lactation and the weight gain are ultimately what made me switch to another medication, another antipsychotic, which I think is more popular, which is Latuda, which I may talk about in another video, but this video is about my experience on risperdal. I took risperdal for less than a year, and it gave me an awful experience the entire time I was on it. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone else, because I've also known at least 2 or more other people who have been on it, and their experiences on it were only negative. Anyway, thank you for listening to this video, and I will see you guys next time.